So, no, I wouldn't say I have a passion for HR.
Welcome back to Human Resources for the People. It's a human capital revolution. United Auto Workers have expanded their strikes, and we've got to talk about it. To give quick background, the United Auto Workers are a prominent labor union in the United States, representing workers in the automotive and related industries. They were founded in 1935 and have a long history of advocating for the rights and welfare of its members, including securing better wages, benefits, and working conditions. Over the years, the UAW has played a pivotal role in shaping labor practices, collective bargaining agreements, social issues that affect its members, and this union has been instrumental in advancing the interests of American auto workers and a key player in labor movement history. They were looking for a 40% increase in wages over 4 years. That's gone down to 36%. They were looking for automatic cost of living adjustments to wages to protect against inflation, which they used to have in 2009. In addition, they want an end to the tiered system of employment that leaves newer workers on a lower wage scale with less benefits. I believe that was 2009, 2008 as well during the crisis. For retirement benefits, full-time workers hired after 2007 get 401k accounts with a company contribution at 6.4%. And the UAW wants a restoration of defined pension plans and healthcare costs for all retirees. In addition, the union is looking for a 32-hour work week with pay for 40 hours, as well as the right to strike over plant closures during the course of this contract. So the idea is that if the automaker does close a plant, the workers would, be able to strike. In addition, if the automaker does close the plant, there would be provisions in the contract that would force the company to continue paying workers indefinitely to do community service. Ford is actually the most recent offer was actually offering to raise wages for full timers by more than 20% over the life of the contract, 4 years, in addition to doing cost of living adjustments to wages that UAW workers bargained for and lost in 2009. In addition, Ford is looking to eliminate the tiered system of wages, and they agree with that. And they're wanting to raise the starting wage to $21 an hour. General Motors is fairly similar. They're looking for a 20% wage increase, et cetera, 10% in the first year, and looking at boosting the auto parts warehouse workers. The GM is still not meeting the union's demands on cost of living adjustments or agreeing to allow workers to strike over plant closures. Similarly, Stellantis is looking at a 20% wage over the life of the contract as well, and a 6% company match plus 50% company match of an employee's contribution up to 6%. So these have all been pretty significant offers. 20% over 4 years is pretty significant. Regardless, these are what I would consider big wage increases, although they may still not keep up with inflation. About an hour and a half ago, the union announced the escalation of its targeted plant walkout today from the Kentucky truck plant, which is highly profitable. It produces the Super Duty trucks and large SUVs, the Expedition and the Navigator. That would make 25,000 auto workers on strike at Ford, GM, and Stellantis. The union has threatened that they could expand at any time, specifically in Wayne, as well as the Explorer and Lincoln Aviator plant. This, of course, has a carry-on effect and a dominoes cascading effect. There's been 4,800 workers at factories that are not union plants that have ultimately been hit by the strikers, 4,800 workers at factories that aren't hit by it. The companies say the strikes have forced them to impose those layoffs, and as a result, these folks have been laid off from the strike. As I've speculated previously, Ford or GM, Stellantis, and Ford do need to reduce output in order to meet the decreasing demand for automobiles. And so, in response to these strikes, GM and Stellantis laid off more than 2,000 additional workers as a result of the strike that weren't part of the strike itself out in Kansas. It was about 2,000 unionized workers at its Fairfax assembly plants. And so, ultimately, this is cost cutting on a grand scale. And I do truly believe that to a degree, GM, Stellantis, and Ford need this cost cutting to remain viable in this high interest rate environment. At the same time, union workers at the Volvo Group's Mack Trucks went on strike on Monday, just 3 days ago, after overwhelmingly rejecting a 5-year contract that was looking at about a 20 or 19% pay increase, not nearly as significant, I think, as the other offerings, but that was not enough for the United Auto Workers at the Volvo plant. 73% of the unit's 4,000 workers in Pennsylvania, Florida, and Maryland voted against the deal. And so, as a result, they are walking off. It included a $3,500 ratification bonus, better retirement benefits, and the Mac worker said it was too small to keep up with inflation. What's interesting is that for the Mack truck for the Mack truck offer, the United Auto Workers actually supported the offer. The UAW president Sean Fain backed the Mack deal on Sunday and said, but when they rejected it, he said, "I'm inspired to see UAW members at Mack holding out for a better deal and ready to stand up and walk off the job to win it." It looks like that this is going to expand further with General Dynamics. General Dynamics workers voted, General Dynamics United Auto Workers union members voted to authorize a strike in 3 states if their contract with the company expires on October 22nd. They are about 1,100 UAW workers located in Michigan, Ohio, and Pennsylvania, which joins the Mack truck workers as well as the rest of the big three. And so that's a strong expansion of the strikes that are going across the United States from Stellantis, Ford, GM, General Dynamics, as well as Mack Truck slash Volvo. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Is this an appropriate response? How big of a knock-on effect do you think this might have in the workplace as well as the economy as a whole? Like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye, guys.